Hi guys, I'm Leon. I'm a recovered drug addict and turned into a gym rat. Amy's asked me today to speak to you about the connections between my recovery from drug addiction and how I've brought fitness in that, and how fitness has helped me to stay clean and sober. So big shout out to Amy Fitness before you started. I'd like to start telling you a little bit about my addiction. I won't go into it too much because the actual addiction isn't the important bit. The important part here is the recovery. As I heard before, it doesn't matter how the jackass got into the ditch, let's just get him out. And that's been, what I found with my recovery and my sponsees. I don't really care what they used to do. It's just a way of getting them out. But yeah, so when I was back out there using, my personality, first of all, I'm a egomaniac with low self-esteem. So, can you imagine that? I'm too good for one thing, but but for the same thing, I'm not good enough. It's just a weird place to live. I always want to be over there as well. Never quite happy where I am in life. There's always over there the grass always looks green, as they say. Yeah, and what I obsess over things, and as soon as I've got it, it's got no value to me. That's just the kind of person I am personality-wise. And then my drug use, as most of us probably the rest of you, started off smoking a bit of weed, progressed then onto a bit of speed, bit of pills to go raving with, and they were good old days. They were fun. Even back then though, I used to always be the one being out the longest, taking the most, triple dropping instead of, when everyone else was taking the half and the rest of it. The signs were there then, but I can't say I wasn't having the time of my life. I was. But then, as I get a bit older, coke gets involved. But actually, do you know what? The first drug I started taking on a daily basis was ketamine. Yeah, it's a weird one, but that was the first one. Then it got into Meow. If you can remember the Meow phase, for a few years when everyone's around you. That then was 6-day benders, 1 day sleep, 24 hours back on it. That was the lifestyle then. And, before I found these rooms then, I got onto coke and eventually onto crack cocaine, and smoking in a pipe. So that's my usage, and what had all this brought me? Well, I was selling drugs, so I got prison sentences. I basically lived my whole life on a tag or suspended prison sentence as well. I'm going to tell my nephews and my daughter that the tag is my Apple Watch, things like this. I've been banned from driving twice, 2 brain injuries, continued loads of hospital stays. But yeah, the 2 major ones were my brain injuries. One was from a car accident and the other was from fighting, but both, under the influence. Right, so then I haven't got access to either of my kids. And this is what then finally, what you people call a rock bottom, it was my wake up call, was when I was going to court for my daughter and I was failing these drug tests, and I could not, as much, she's my everything. I absolutely love that girl to bits. She's the only one I'd been involved with from the start. I absolutely love this girl for bits. I wanted to see her and I just couldn't give up but long enough to get a clean drug test. That's when I couldn't deny it anymore. I had a problem. So that took me then to the rooms of CA, Cocaine Anonymous, which is a 12-step program. I attended their meetings regular, found myself a sponsor there who took me through the 12-step process. And basically what it is, it's admission. You admit that you've got a problem and that it's affecting your life. Confession, you admit your harms, people you've harmed, your resentments, your fears. Restitution, that's when you put them harms right. You make amends with people, and then you go on to your maintenance stage once you've done all that, and that's to keep yourself hopefully from making, not having to make any restitutions in the future. Of course, none of us are that perfect, but that's, that's what it's there for. Anyway, so it wasn't an easy journey at all, but I had to take a hard look at myself, which is something I'd never done before. I had to learn to sit with my feelings. I'd never done that before. I'd used on everything, any breakup, any family issue, even celebrations, anything I'd used on. I didn't know how to feel without drink or drugs. So, it was an easy process, but I had a lot of growing up through, basically. So, my sponsor's taken me through the 12 steps. I'm clean, I'm sober. On the outside, I look so much better. And my life is a lot better, but on the inside, I'm lonely, bored even still at this point, because my life used to be so hectic on the out, because everything revolved around drugs. You take that away, I got nothing, so I'm lonely, I'm bored, and to be honest, I'm grieving my old life as well. As much as I knew it was messing me up, now it wasn't there, I was grieving it. And how I explain this bit to my sponsors, because we all get like it, right, is we've killed off our old life. We can't see our old friends, go to them places, nothing. That place is dead. But we haven't yet created the new life. So we're in this limbo, and it's very painful, So, I find myself needing to create this new life. Bear with me. And an easy option for me to get into straight away, because I had done it as a teen, was weights. And straight away I felt benefits from that went alongside my 12-step program, It gave me self-esteem, it gave me purpose, it got away with that boredom. Eventually that boredom became peacefulness, because I'm bloody 40 in a week. What business have I got to be even bored? When I haven't got nothing to do, I like to sit down and sit in peace now. But like I said this time, when you get clean, you're still a child, like. So, yeah, and during the 12-step program as well, it's all about helping other people, especially other addicts, So by doing weights and going to the gym, taking that time, it was something I could do for myself. Now, and then, the self-esteem, the confidence without ego that I'd now built up in the gym, then helped me transfer that back into my recovery, because then I was able to have the confidence to sponsor people. I take service and I take meetings in Park Prison. I've even started my own meeting in my village, the first CA meeting it's ever had. And these are things I wouldn't be able to do if I hadn't done the 12-step program, started all this healing, but then built on it with my training, another thing I want to touch on as well, like I said, I had to get rid of all my old friends, our old circles, right? Nobody, but I have now at this time started building friends in the fellowship, in the 12-step program, Again, then, once I started the gym, this has given me a whole new social circle as well, which is so important in your early days. You need some sort of support, whether, family and everything. Our family it's only going to give us so much comfort for so long, isn't it? We need to be able to reach out further. We need to be able to have some friendships, I need people to flirt with, it's just my personality and that. So yes, that's another social circle I've got. I've got my meetings 3 nights a week. I did an hour, and then we talk there for a bit, and then I've got my gym in the days as well. So I'm getting out and about, I'm meeting people, talking, I'm stopping, having coffee, I'm starting to build something. When I saw how well the gym had worked alongside my recovery, and it was definitely taking away some of the downfalls of being in recovery, if you want, for lack of a better word. I tried other aspects of fitness. Walking, I was into walking anyway because I've got loads of dogs, but that has transferred into hiking, which then has transferred into going out, finding cold water dips, waterfall chasing, and that's something I do regular. Almost every Sunday you'll find me on a hike. CrossFit. I dip my toe in and out of CrossFit, but you know, I tell you what CrossFit is amazing for, same as Cyrox, is they're like a little family. They are, you know, at my gym, they're all all of them. It's brilliant to see. And even though I only tip my toe in, you know, it's just so nice. And that's something, a big bonus you can have if you're in recovery and you're trying to stay away from all your old druggy mates, you know, your drug dealer mates and all that. Brilliant. So jiu-jitsu, I tried that for a little bit. I did knock that on the head, but it's something I wouldn't mind doing again. Bouldering, which is indoor rock climbing with a rope, I've tried that once or twice, and it's something I definitely want to pick up again. And what I'll probably do is when winter kicks in now and I can't do my hiking so much, if it's raining for instance, I'll go down and do bouldering instead, something like that. But the point is, you know, all these things are exactly the same effect. They gave me purpose. You know, didn't make me, so I didn't just in my own head all the time as well, feeling like beating myself up. And self-esteem, self-love is a big thing to have to get back with recovery. The 12 steps to it amazing, but it can be boosted and done quicker if you get into fitness, you know, if you ask me anyway. So recently now, I've upped my fitness game. You know, I've got myself a personal trainer, someone who I'm accountable to, and as it goes, you know, it's called Recover Fit, and he's someone I've met in the rooms of recovery. Well, in fact, I sponsor him as well when it comes to, you know, in the rooms. So, you know, it just shows how, you know, this is where my life is now, you know, between fitness and recovery rooms, pretty much, and the service I do, then go and help in prisons, in Brecon, in a drug and alcohol place. You know, there's life outside the drugs, lads, you know. I think I mentioned before as well, this 12-step program basically shows you how to live life on life's terms, you know, because we used to use over all our problems, doesn't matter what it was, even celebration times. And again, like a boredom, so much growing up to do. But these days now, moving forward, I now know there's actually growth in the pain. You know, whatever you're going through, whatever heartache, you'll come out the other side stronger if you don't block it out like I used to. And that's basically what happens. You know, the drugs, you don't grow up. You stay at a certain age because you just don't experience these things. Yeah, and so I don't yes, they don't get me wrong, they're painful to go through, but I don't look at them so much as just bad days anymore. They're character building days, which is somebody who's been in recovery and, you know, slow down their character building for years and years and years through drug use or drinking. It's needed, you know. And so, you know, we get more resistant through this. It's the same, and then that is the same as working out. You know, weights don't get lighter, we just get stronger. Dieting doesn't get easier, we get more dedicated. And these are skills from that we could, you know, so this, you can see now the skills from my program, from my fitness in life, you know, are now benefits in life itself. Especially when you're someone who's having to learn to do everything from scratch. The program and a fitness life, you know, giving you, doubling up on those same things. Can't say how much it's helped me enough, guys. It's made me, you know, I mentioned a few times, self-motivated, more confident, but without the ego confidence, a genuine confidence, stronger mentally, physically. I'm at peace with myself today. That's such a big thing. And the world, you know, I'm not trying to fight the world. Yeah, guys, that's everything. That's, you know, the connection for me personally through my recovery and my fitness journey. For anyone struggling out there, guys, with any kind of addiction, there is a better life waiting for you. You can rebuild those broken family ties. Recovery is done for me more than I ever could have imagined, you know. Like, for, you know, I don't look over my shoulder anymore, you know, worried about police or anything. I don't live in constant anxiety. You know, I think I've had 2 panic attacks ever since being in recovery, and that's 3 years, where I used to get them, you know, weekly. I don't wake up, I don't go to sleep with the worry of risk of prison. I don't wake up in a cell or hospitals, and I don't get them embarrassing text messages that we all look at on a Sunday morning, You can have this life too, guys. It's out there for you. It's pretty much monkey see, monkey do, guys. So I hope somebody out there struggling got something from this today. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Amy, for having me. Cheers.